Video here. I'm in no way, shape, or form a YouTuber, streamer, whatever. But I've been having lots of troubles with this $100 G703 mouse, and Logitech tech support is ridiculous. Took 4 days to get them to basically say, try this stuff that I explained I did already. And then it also said, and if that doesn't work, send us this information, of which I already sent them that information in the first email. So clearly they didn't even read the email. And then after replying with the stuff they wanted, they're like, well, why don't you use an air gun to try to blow it out? So I tried that. It still didn't fix it. You know, there was a firmware update that was supposed to fix it. Nothing fixed it. So I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I'm like, screw the warranty. I'm going to take this thing apart. So there was a video that took apart a G903. And thinking that this was similar, I was like, oh, I could probably clean some contacts in there, you know, better than an air gun can get, and we'll see what happens. So, well, Logitech seemed to do a thing here. So I call this a semi-teardown because, well, I already tore it apart. So basically, what it comes down to is there's 4 screws here. You take apart those little Teflon things and do it very carefully so you can put them back. And this should be perfectly usable. But yeah, so there's 4 screws. And then you pry it apart. A little bit of a problem at the top of it. And it didn't want to come apart, but eventually you'll get it and that'll come apart. And then there's a battery here, and there's 2 screws holding it down, 2 or 3. And you took it off and you take it out, and then you unplug it here. Oh, and before that, there was also this little thing here that I can find it here on the camera. All right, just a little thing that you unplug it, and that should, you know, that should come back pretty easily. But anyway. So what it comes down to is, so what I was really interested in is the scroll wheel here. So the G903, it had like a wheel inside of it and everything, and it had a button so you could toggle between like the basically the non-click scrolling and the click scrolling. But this one does not do that, and it looks like they went on the cheap with the scroll wheel, which is unfortunate for a $100 mouse, but here's what it is. So I thought might be something to clean or something like that, but that is not the case. So if you look here, the scroll wheel connects through a little thing there. So that edge of that little clear thing is perforated, and it just plugs right into that to this gray thing here. And this gray thing is closed box. You know, you'd be tearing apart like a component in order to fix it. So all the scrolling logic is in there. I mean, there's not probably a lot of logic going on in there, but so I could see why a firmware update might do that, because I'm like, well, how is a firmware update going to fix the scroll issue? But depending how the connections work and the signals and the electricity and whatever, I could see that. It's basically like a little sensor. But see if I can do this while recording. But what it comes down to is there was a little bit of debris in there that I cleaned out, and I put it back together, I'll tell you. But anyway, this is free flow right here. So this little box is what gives you the click, 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 click feeling. And there is not enough mechanism in there for there to be like some sort of freewheel or something like that. It's just really on the cheap for the scroll side. So anyway, I tore it down so you don't have to. But what it comes down to is I don't think you're going to have a lot of luck taking it apart and trying to clean something. I'll let you know how it goes when I put it back together. It'll be at the end of this video. But anyway, put it all back together. And just to give this other video some credit, you know, they took apart theirs. And that scroll wheel is completely different because it's got that toggle switch between free scroll and not free scroll. But anyway, they are much more thorough and professional about this whole thing. But anyway, so as you can see, put it back together. It's not perfect with this little thing there, but I'll fix it later. Anyway, so when it comes down to scrolling here, I'm going to get my line out of the way. I'm going to go to this website here, and I'm just going to keep scrolling up. And as you can see here, as I'm scrolling up, it pops down and scrolls down sometimes. It's super, super annoying. Crazy annoying. I've been scrolling up the whole time. See if I can get scroll and bump up at the same time. So scroll, 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 scroll up. Anyway, it'll do it eventually. And of course, when it's cold and you first come to the computer, it does it more often. Anyway, crazy annoying scroll problem.